and just random stuff like that.
All right. Well, what subjects do you like reporting and most in?
You mean like
Yeah,
what I do?
yeah, experience. Just like you dealt with the White House, you dealt with doing shows here and Bowie. Just tell us, I mean,
I say
which type of shows do you enjoy best in?
I say which shows I like. Probably talk shows for
You like
one.
talk shows. That's what I said earlier. You want to take my place.
I like taping the talk show.
You like taping the talk
Yeah,
show.
not being on them.
Yeah,
But
not bad.
talk shows, and when I started off doing freelance work when I was younger, back in high school, me and my brother and I started off doing.
What's your brother's name?
Dante.
Dante. He's the older brother, huh?
Yep, about 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years. I see. Well, you guys almost twins, man. Yeah. You were teenagers together and everything. You don't go in his room and take his stuff and wear his clothes and nothing like
No,
that.
I have my own clothes.
but sometimes the bigger brother, he has something more exotic than the younger brother.
His clothes too big for me anyway. Because he's tall. Like I stopped growing in high school. He kept growing because he played football and stuff. So I just stopped in high school.
What you say? You stopped.
Yeah,
right?
I got cut off.
Yeah. Okay. What about your parents? You told about your dad. Tell us about moms.
My mom, I think she works at a law firm in D.C. I think it's in.
What's her name?
Shirley.
Shirley. All right. Your dad's name?
Donald.
Donald. Okay.
Yep.
And your brother's name? I'm going right down.
3 Ds. My father's my father's Donald. My brother's Dante, and I'm Derrick. And my mother's Shirley.
All D's, huh?
And one
3
S.
Ds,
One S.
Right. That's the same thing with my brother. His name was Edward, and my name is Edwin. And then, and then my grandchildren. My son is Edwin Jr. His oldest boy is Edwin the Third.
That's too many
And the
eggs.
next one is Ellis, and the baby is Evan. So they got all E's. So I beat you on that.
You beat me by a couple of miles.
Yeah, a couple of them. That's what I'm saying. All E's, you know what I mean? But tell us something about you growing up in. Where did you actually grow up in? You say you grew up in
D.C.
Washington D.C.
Like we were originally we lived in Northeast D.C., but that was when I was really young, so I don't really remember it like that. But then we moved to Southeast D.C., and that's where I've been living up until now, basically, like my whole life, or almost my whole life.
So you're a native. You're a native of this area. Huh?
Oh yeah.
So tell us some of the positive things. You know, people they always have negative things about where they lived, things of that nature.
Well, I try not to really like dwell on negativity because I'm not a negative person. But
that's
positive,
what I said,
positive things. There was pretty much always something to do. Like when we was younger, we can always go outside and go play instead of being inside all day. Just letting the world pass us by.
Well, what's your hobby?
My hobby is, what I love is, doing TV work.
Oh, you love the TV work, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is actually your first interview, isn't that right? You can put it down. You can put it down on the record that your first interview was on the award-winning Ed Brown Show, where you got an opportunity. Instead of being off camera, you're on camera.
On camera, yeah. Yeah, I can do that.
Right. That's what I mean. You might as well get accustomed to that. You know what I mean? Because interviewing, getting people involved, you know what I mean, is you learn a lot. You know? That's the thing.
About the other person.
Yeah, right. What about formatting? When you're in school and the work that you've done, have you done any formatting? Formatting the show to the point that you determine, how it's done, and you turn.
Oh, you mean like directing and producing?
Right, right.
I was one of the producers when I was still on campus for the show that our TV station was trying to do, the BSU News Hour or something like that.
BSU News Hour. You were responsible for that over at
I was one of the producers.
Yeah,
but,
that's what I mean.
that show never. It got off the ground, but not when I was, still there.
But the idea came in while you were attending the university.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Of Bowie News, because it's specific training you also have. Tell us a little bit about that you had to take while you were majoring there at Bowie State. Not associated with it's sort of electives.
Electives. Well, what I took was for TV, like for my majors. There were major classes, but I took TV 1, TV 2. I took this class called announcing.
But that was elective, right?
No. Those are all major classes.
They was major. Those are required.
Yeah, for my major.
Yeah, right.
But if you want to know my electives, they were like Western civilization, just random classes. I can't really remember all of them. I think I may have taken
What about public
art.
speaking?
I took that. I took that.
You need that in every field, really.
Yeah, that was a fun class though. I think I got an A in that class.
Oh, right, great, yeah.
I took psychology and one of my other electives was sociology.
Well, you got to be sociable.
Yeah, but I took quite a few electives.
What kind of advice would you give to a student that's majoring in communication? From your experience, your experience at the White House, your experience right here in Bowie Station, and freelancing.
I would just say pretty much what everyone else is telling me. It's not all about, but it's mostly about who you know. So you can get another step forward.
Move up another step. In other words, like I was saying, really what you need to do is get into the political system.
You can meet a lot of people there too.
Yeah, see, the political system is wide open, especially for communication. Every political system that I know of, make sure they have a #1 communicator. You know what I mean? And they call them different names. They call them communicators. They call them the head man. There's different #1 man or whatever. Every political system, there's an individual that's a communicator. I mean, he has to know how to get the people, when to say something and when not to say something, when to answer a question, when not to answer a question. No, the famous word is no comment. That way you don't hang yourself months later. Right?
I plead the fifth.
I don't know. Plead the fifth. I think no comment is better than plead the fifth.
Yeah.
What do you think? You think no comment is better, or
I think anyone is fine.
Yeah?
But I would probably lean more towards no comment.
No comment, because it's a neutral thing. When you plead the fifth, people associate that with guilt.
Yeah.
If you say no comment, it's neutral.
They tend to leave you alone.
Yeah, it's neutral, but you plead the fifth, and they say, well, this guy has something to hide. You don't want to talk about this subject or this bridge or this school or whatever it is. Yeah. So those are things that you really have to get into yourself, doing things like that. But as far as majoring in communication, what about the aspects of control room? That's we talked about that, the control room aspects. Have you've had experience with that here at WETA or?
Not at WETA, but on campus, I was in there, not a lot, but, a very little bit. So I saw how they, they use a switcher so they could switch from different camera shots, from one camera they could switch to another one. And
that's an important position too.
Yeah, because you don't want to, have one camera on, one person the entire show. But I also not really learned, but I saw how they use the teleprompter, like how they type in, what they want you to say.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. The exposure to that's not an easy job, because on the teleprompter.
No, it's not.
No.
Because you have to go at a certain pace so that the person can read it.
Right.